Apologetic Luka Doncic sends message to Lakers Nation after losing in his purple and gold playoff debut. Luka Doncic put on a show in his playoff debut with the LA Lakers, but it wasn't enough, as the team fell victim to a historic shooting display by the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves claimed Game 1 of their first-round series with a commanding 117-95 victory. Doncic scored 37 points on 12 of 22 shooting, but also turned the ball over 5 times. He grabbed 8 rebounds but recorded just 1 assist, the same mark he logged in Game 1 of last year's NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics. After the loss, the Slovenian superstar expressed remorse to Lakers fans. "It was a great atmosphere," he said, via Lakers Daily. "Sorry we couldn't get the first win." According to NBA.com, Game 1 drew a crowd of 18,997 at Crypto.com Arena. But Minnesota brought the heat, torching the Lakers from beyond the arc with 21 made three-pointers on 42 attempts, a new franchise playoff record. Per SportsCenter, the Lakers' 95-point total marked their lowest in any of the 24 games LeBron James and Doncic have played together this season. LeBron added 19 points on 18 shots and finished with a team worst plus-minus of -22 in 36 minutes. This was just the 4th time all season the Lakers shot under 40% from the field, and they've now lost 3 of those 4 games. They finished the night shooting 39.8%, with only Doncic, 12 of 22, and Dalton Connect, 2 of 4, making at least half their shots. LA also struggled to get to the free throw line, attempting just 16 free throws and making 14. In contrast, they averaged 23.2 attempts per game in the regular season and went just 4-9 when attempting 16 or fewer. Luka Doncic says he needs to pass more. The Lakers' offensive rhythm, typically fueled by high-usage players Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, vanished in Game 1. That trio combined for just 7 assists, with Doncic dishing out only 1 while committing 5 turnovers. His assist-to-turnover ratio of 0.2 was the lowest of his entire postseason career. When asked post-game if he needs to pass the ball more, Luka responded, "Yeah, sure. I don't really know how to respond to that one. Yeah, I gotta pass more."
Because several of your teammates just talked about the need to match the Timberwolves' physicality a little bit better. You obviously played against them last year and a little more familiar in the playoff context, but did you feel like that was lacking some in parts of the game and you guys can respond better in Game 2?
Definitely. I think the fourth quarter we played the way we play. I think we were playing physical, everybody was locked in, and then we just kind of, let go of the rope, so we got to be way more physical. It's 48 minutes and every possession matters.
Luka, you just mentioned letting go of the rope. What did you see in the second quarter and then like that first half of the third quarter before you guys went on that run to close it there? Just the middle 2 quarters when I think they outscored you guys by like 34 in that middle stretch. What did you see during that stretch?
Yeah, I think it was physical. They were hitting a lot of threes. We got to limit their threes, especially the lasers. And we weren't physical. They were running. They were getting anything they want, and we got to be better with that.
Look, when you get going early to start the game, and we've seen you do it a bunch of times since you joined the Lakers. And, I think tonight you have 14, they have 12. The Lakers are up by 8, but other guys aren't touching the ball. Is that ever cognizant in your mind in terms of, like, getting other guys' touches as well as getting yourself going? Is that a balance that you have to strike at all? Offensively? I'm just curious.
Sure. I don't know how to respond to that one, really, but, I guess got to pass more. I don't know. I don't know how to respond to it, honestly. I'm just trying to set the tone from early. But obviously, 1 assist, that's not good enough for me.
What did you see from the team late in the third, early in the fourth, when you guys start to chip away at the Timberwolves deficit. I think you guys cut it to 12 after being down by 27.
Yeah, I mean, I think just playing our game, just playing the way we know how to play. We were physical, we had energy on the defensive end, and then we just get out in transition and play our game.
Luka, yo sé que esta no es la manera como querías terminar el partido. Tengo dos preguntas. Primero, ¿qué tan físico fue este partido? Y después de ser bombardeados con esos triples, ¿qué tan abrumador fue ese momento y cómo trataron de recuperarse?
Sí, no es una buena manera de empezar, pero siempre digo en un playoff series, primero a 4, ¿no? Alguna vez vas a perder, alguna vez no, pero es primero a 4. Creo que están muy acertados hoy y tenemos que limitar eso.
Luka, sí, no querían iniciar con una derrota, pero ¿qué se rescata de este partido?
Creo que cuando hemos jugado como nosotros sabemos jugar, con defensa buena, con mucha energía, hemos tenido nuestros momentos y tenemos que mirar eso y aprovechar estas ocasiones.
Luka, una derrota, obviamente el objetivo es ganar, pero metiste una canasta increíble de media cancha. ¿Puedes platicaros esa jugada y cómo se vivió?
Sí, bueno, pensaba que nos iba a dar un empujón, íbamos perdiendo y creo que esa canasta levantó a la gente. Pensaba que nos iba a dar un empujón, pero bueno, no valió para nada. Sí.
Luka, back here. What did you kind of make of your first experience here in the postseason, in terms of the atmosphere pregame and kind of how you guys were able to get the crowd back into it?
It was great atmosphere. Sorry we couldn't get the first win, but it's always first to four. It's been amazing. The crowd was amazing. They were sticking with us when we was down, so I really appreciate it.
Luka, ¿qué pasó en ese segundo cuarto y qué viste sobre la manera que ellos buscaron limitar tu juego a la hora de involucrar a los compañeros?
Creo que la defensa no estuvo al límite. Creo que no hemos defendido, han anotado muchos puntos en ese segundo cuarto, en transición, de rebote, y creo que nuestra defensa luego no ha salido en ataque.
Luka, in games like this, what do you feel the team needs to adjust collectively to respond better in the next game?
Just being physical, play like we played in the first quarter. I think we played our first quarter when we were at the best. So just limit their threes, limit transition, limit second chance points, and play our game.
Luka, ¿crees que faltó urgencia en este partido? Tuviste un gran comienzo, pero te limitaron a solo una asistencia. ¿Y cómo sentiste el ambiente en tu primer juego de playoffs aquí?
Bueno, alguna vez va a ser alguna 10, no sé. Al final, sí, cuando no doblaron, no podía tener muchas asistencias, pero bueno, creo que nuestra defensa no ha sido buena hoy. Tenemos que mejorar en eso.
Luka, Minnesota was able to kind of penetrate the paint with ease and kind of get those driving kicks going, and got hot from three. How much of that is things that the team needs to kind of work on? How much of that is just Minnesota hitting shots?
I mean, they have great shooters, obviously. I think we have to do a better job, limited their threes. They hit 21 threes, which is a lot. It's gonna be really hard when the team shoots 50% from three to win the game, and we gotta do better to taking them off the line and trying to force twos. Thank you.
LeBron, you've been through more game ones than anybody. What after a game like this, where it's a big score line at home, what's the kind of the proper way to try and respond from that mentally, physically, and all of it?
Well, obviously, we got to do a better job of controlling the controllables, and I don't think we did a good enough job after the first quarter. Once they blitzed us in that second quarter, 38-20. But giving up 21 threes, giving up 20 plus fast break points, second chance points, those are some of the things that we can control. Obviously the 3-point shooting, we know they have a lot of lasers, they have a lot of guys that can shoot from the perimeter. So we got to do a better job of closing the bodies and getting out on shooters. So, we'll get back in the film room tomorrow, look at the things that we did well. Some of the things that we didn't do so well, and continue to game plan for game 2. We have a couple of days to prepare for it.
LeBron, both AR and JJ mentioned that they felt like one of the factors tonight was the physicality being something that maybe caught you guys early on in the game. Were there any things that you saw that gave you belief that you figured out how to counter that as the game went on that you can take into game 2?
Well, definitely. I mean, no, you playing a Minnesota team, they're gonna be physical. That's what they bring to the table. So, maybe it took us one playoff game to now get a feel for it and know what the type of intensity, the type of physicality that's going to be brought to the game. But that's just the way they play. So we should be more than prepared for that on Tuesday night.
LeBron, obviously you guys are going to meet game 2 with a sense of urgency, but what's sort of the right approach to a game 2 when you're down 0-1 in terms of still being calm and understanding kind of the big picture of things while also knowing that it's obviously an incredibly important game?
No, we understand that. I mean, they took home court from us tonight, as far as the series, but, we have an opportunity to even the series out on Tuesday, and we have to play a much better game than we did today. Like I said, we have to control the controllables, and if we do that, we're going to give ourselves a much better chance to win than we did tonight.
You mentioned one of the first answers there, the Timberwolves 20-plus fast break points is a key factor. How much of that did you see as a result of just you guys missing shots close to the rim and near the rim and them running out just from there?
No, we did a great job later on in it. Throughout the whole season, we did a great job of not allowing teams to get, fast break point after fast break point after fast break point. Like I said, those guys are 10 for 15 and 25 points on the fast break. We already know offensively how dangerous they are. So when you're giving teams an opportunity to get those easy points, it's going to be hard to make that up. We only had 6 ourselves, so that we got outscored by 19 in that race. So, those are things that we control by getting back, setting our defense, making them score against our half-court defense.
LeBron, you guys closed the third on a 17-6 run and then carried that over into the first few minutes of the fourth. What did you see during that stretch of 6-7 minutes that you feel like you could take in a game?
We met the intensity, what they were bringing to the table. We met the physicality with physicality and started to get up into them. Allowed us to get some turnovers, allowed us to get some extra possessions, and it allowed us to get back into the game. So, like I said, sometimes it takes a quarter, 2 quarters, a full game to get used to playoff basketball once again. So it shouldn't be no surprise on Tuesday.
LeBron, to your right, when you talk about controlling the controllables in the second and third quarter, what comes to mind at those times?
Offensive rebounds, giving up open shots to lasers, not being in the right position. So it was a lot of factors that allowed them to build that big lead up to 27.
LeBron, Minnesota was able to kind of penetrate, driving kick. They converted a lot on those corner threes and things of that nature. How much of that was just a team getting hot and hitting their shots, and how much of that is part of the controllables and things that you can prevent?
We're going to look at the film and break it down. There's some that was just great plays by them. We're all NBA players. We know how to make plays. Some of the things we could have control, but we watch the film and see ways we could be better with our rotations going into game 2.
LeBron, the Timberwolves scored 18 points off turnovers compared just to 9 by the Lakers. How do you think the team can do a better job managing that in the upcoming games?
Well, obviously, taking care of the ball versus a team like this is very important. But anytime you're in the postseason, you got to take care of the ball, and if you turn the ball over, you got to try your best to get back, in transition and not allow them to get points. Like you said, they had 18 points off our 13 turnovers, and we only had 9 off their 10. So we got to do a much better job of trying to turn them over, and at the same time, do a better job of protecting the ball, and not having as many turnovers for us, especially at home. All right, appreciate it.
9 assists, all Minnesota. The 21 threes are a Minnesota franchise playoff record that helps the Wolves win for the 18th time in their last 22 games, going back to the regular season. Wolves also outscored LA by 12 in the paint, 19 on fast break points to hand the Lakers just their 11th home loss of the season. Here's Edwards afterward.
They threw the first punch. You guys threw the knockout blow. What kind of statement did you make today? I don't know, man. I think we just came out ready to play.
Jaden McDaniels was phenomenal in this game. You know, what kind of mindset does he have when it comes to these kind of moments?
We tell him every game, man, be the MVP. Be the MVP of the game on both sides of the ball. And we knew this series, man, they was going to have faith that he wasn't going to be aggressive all night. And we told him throughout the whole week, hey, be aggressive the whole game. Don't stop shooting. Find your spots. Trust yourself. Trust your work. And he did that. And here you go right here, the MVP of the night, baby.
Jaden, let's talk to you real quick before we let you guys go. Just, again, what you were thinking out there, hitting all those shots, having to take on the toughest cover tonight. What was your mindset?
Man, just going out playing with confidence. I know all my teammates trust me. Ant always tell me, shoot the ball no matter what, miss or make, and that's what I did tonight.
Ant, you said this week to the media that everybody's picking the Lakers, and you like that. Yeah. So you also sent a text message to your group before this series started. What was that message to your teammates?
Just, you know, we the underdogs and be aggressive. Come out ready to fight. It's going to be a dog fight. It's going to be tough. And like I said, man, everybody got to trust their work, trust themselves, and they did that tonight.
How's the calf?
It's getting better, man, day by day.
And then lastly, how do you guys get greedy and potentially win a second game here?
Nothing different. Come out with the game, same mindset, and just be aggressive and try to throw the first punch and the last punch.